A bad economy, a bad location, and an unfriendly dental staff can all drive away patients from your dental practice. But what are you doing that's running off patients? For our Flashback Friday, I want to take you back to Classic Podcast, episode 195, to talk about just this. Now, I bet you'll be surprised to find out the 5 things that you're doing today to repel new patients. Even if you've heard this episode before, it's a great reminder for some of the best ways to retain and nurture your existing patients in your practice. Stay tuned. If your office isn't attracting the kinds of patients that you want, who do you blame? When we come back, I'm going to tell you why you might have to look at the person in the mirror. Stay tuned. Colin Receiver here. It's Tuesday, August 19th, and I want to know who's to blame for you not having the practice that you want. Is it the economy that keeps your patients away? Are you in a bad location? Does your staff just not make it a friendly environment? Is insurance ripping you off? The answer to all those questions could be yes, but what about the decisions that you make? Are there things that you're not doing or not doing properly that could be driving people away? My guess is yes. Here's the top 5 things that I see in my various discussions with dentists around the country that keep them from attracting more and better patients. Number 1 is you're offering free and discounted services. Now, there's a big difference between offers and services. Discounted offers are things designed to get people in the door to meet you, to see how great you are, to see how you're approachable and likable. Discounted services like Groupon and Living Social and services that you're discounting. It's one thing to offer a free x-ray and exam, soft costs that are diagnostic to get people in the door. When you start discounting your services, it's nothing more than a short-term play to get people in your office. But think about what kind of patients you're trying to attract. It's going to be patients that only care about the cost. You think those patients are going to fund your retirement? What do you think offering freebies and discounts says to the patients that can pay? It says your services aren't worth that much. Number 2, you tell patients what is important to you as a dentist. 99.9% of your patients aren't dentists. They don't care where you went to school. They don't care about your new equipment. They don't care what journals you've been published in. They just don't care about you in general. Sorry. What they want to know is what you can do for them. If you look at the psychology of how people make decisions, how great you are does play a role, but it's right at the very tail end of the decision-making process. If you're leading your sales process with how great are you, you're repelling a lot of prospects. Number 3, your hours don't match the kind of dentist you are. Success takes hard work. There's no silver bullets or shortcuts. If you're not attracting the types of patients that you want, when are you working? If you're a volume dentist, you've got to be open for consumer hours. If you're not a volume dentist, why should patients choose you? Are you the defined expert in your market area? If you aren't working during the hours that consumers want, you better have a good reason for them to come into you. And it's not that newfangled piece of equipment that you have. Number 4, you're looking for solutions that come fast and come cheap. There's no magic bullet to solve your problems, and the silver ones come at a price. I run a marketing company, and even I don't promise clients a one-step solution. It takes a combination of best practices in the right order to attract more and better patients. And just as you have a skill that you expect to be paid for, so does anyone else that's going to help you with marketing your practice. So when somebody comes to you with a sweetheart deal, saying that they'll work for next to nothing and trade you for Xbox games, imagine the results you're probably going to get. Number 5, you think any of this is dependent on how good of a dentist you are. Let me ask you a question. What do you think separates you from the most successful, the 1%er dentist in this world? Is it the clinical skills that they have? Can they see remedies for patients' problems that you don't? Are they more skillful or smarter than you? And, even if you answer yes to any of these questions, are they so much better than you as to explain why they're being so much more successful? My guess is probably not. In fact, you're probably a better clinician than a lot of dentists working in your area. I heard a dentist say once that he had good clinical skills, and he's obviously a very smart guy. He's been very successful in practice. But what he said to me, Colin, is, I'm not smarter than the guy down the road. I'm just going to outwork him. And that doesn't mean putting in 60 clinical hours a week. That means you've just got to work harder and smarter than the guy down the road. You have to leverage yourself in the ways that you are most profitable, in the ways that you have certain dominant skills that are better, and know your weaknesses so that you're not focusing on areas that you're weak in. These top 1% dentists, the common traits that I see with them is they're able to recognize and capitalize on initiative, opportunity, promotion, and their individual skill sets. Fix these 5 problems, and you'll be running loose with more and better patients. Keep moving forward.